Hello and welcome to episode number 41 of of Comment Chaos Live. Yeah, different show, different YouTube channel. Yeah, with me, Christian Rauchenwald. I hope you all have a great day so far, a good morning, depending on which time zone you are in. As always, in Comment Chaos Live, we are taking a look at the comments that I receive on the YouTube channel to hopefully answer the comments or the questions that you and others have about the different projects that we've reviewed on this channel so far. As usual, however, the usual disclaimer applies. Everything that I share in this live stream / video is my personal opinion and in no way financial or professional advice of any kind. You should always do your own research, consult certified professionals, draw your own conclusions, and make your own decisions. Yeah, as you can clearly see, I'm not fully awake yet, so still enjoying coffee number one. But I'm hopefully awake enough to answer the comments that we have. And with that, we'll actually just jump straight to Agora Pulse, the tool we are using to manage our YouTube comments. You can find it linked down in the description below. Now, since we at the moment only have a weekly Comment Chaos Live episode, we'll have to go first into the all section and actually check real quick. Last episode was last Wednesday. Last Wednesday was the 7th, so basically 7 days ago. And let's see what we have there. 7 days ago, 6 days ago, that's what we have there, yeah. Grandma Bird, good morning. 4chan will be the new Pepe. Yeah, like, I mean, yeah, if you, I don't know, like rather put your money in a slot machine than yeah, like in coins without real use case. But you do you. As said, you make your own decisions. I wouldn't invest in either of those. But yeah. What did we have here from last week? That's about CoinX. For those of you that are wondering, in CoinX, it's actually one of the few projects where you're allowed, and not just allowed, but encouraged to have multiple accounts. So if you have two phones, or a phone and an iPad or so, and you want to run CoinApp on both, you have to use two separate accounts, because otherwise their algorithm would think that you're spoofing location data, because your phone sends one piece of data and then suddenly a second later your tablet says it's like, I don't know, like a kilometer away or so if you're outside with your phone. And so you have to have two accounts, and then from those accounts you can without a problem withdraw to the same wallets. Yeah, so like for example, we currently have 3 CoinApp accounts, actually 4, but 3 that we're actively using, and once per month I'm claiming or redeeming the XYO tokens from all 3 accounts into the same wallet without a problem already for, I don't know, over a year. Yeah. That's that. Yeah, I mean, we covered that. Is it too late to join Pi Network? Yeah, like definitely not. I mean, you obviously get less coins than if you would have joined years ago, but you still get coins. By now, where the people that joined years ago without any proof that it will ever succeed, in quotes, had some faith. If you join now, there is already proof that you can use the coins, and like that the team is moving forward to get us closer to the open mainnet. So yeah, definitely not too late to join the Pi Network project. Same goes for most other projects. If they still have a phase where you push a button, you might get less than other people because you're late. But yeah, you still get more than whatever 8 billion people that are not using the app at all. Yeah. How long does KYC take? Yeah, well, it varies. So can go anything from like less than an hour to multiple months, depends on a lot of things. There are a couple of videos I made about that. Actually, the last one is called KYC FAQ, and definitely provides most of the answers if you are still looking for answers about KYC in Pi Network. Name change. KYC, not in a rush to be okay. Yeah, so yeah, that's the point. So like with Pi Network, it's really, I also, by the way, picked a 90% lockup for 3 years. I would have picked 100%, but 90%, so I have 10% or had 10% to make a couple videos about using Pi coins, which you can also find on my channel if you're curious about how you can use your available balance already. It's just logical. Like if the project succeeds, it will be worth more in 3 years than what it is now. if the project fails, well, then what difference does it make if you were able, like, I don't know, if you could have used your coins right now for something, I don't know, that's worth $40, $50, I don't know how many coins you have, yeah. But in 3 years, it could be worth much, much more. Blah, blah, blah. CoinApp, interesting question. So for those of you that are using CoinApp, for those of you that are not, blah, blah, blah. Like I'm going to share the link real quick. So CoinApp, you can check out here. And if you're using CoinApp, there is something called the home base. I have a couple of videos that explain all the aspects and features of CoinApp. So just check out the channel, go to playlists, and there look for the CoinApp playlist, or search for CoinApp Christian Rauchenwald on YouTube, and you'll find all the videos. And so there's a home base. Basically, when your device doesn't move, it creates a 3x3 square, and in that home base you get a boost. But obviously that boost is only for when you are stationary. The moment you move, so if you are like, okay, now you're leaving your home or you're leaving your office and you're going to drive somewhere, and you plan to have CoinApp still running in the foreground or even in the background with the background boost, you should obviously clear the home base so that you keep earning. With the home base active, it will not earn outside of the home base. And video on Eagle Bulk, nope. That's like, Eagle Network was one of the projects, if I recall correctly, that already initially had in-app purchases, and which is a huge red sign. I mean, obviously projects have to be funded, but if other projects manage to get funded through advertising and maybe initial investors or something, then Eagle should have done the same. And there's apparently something new called Eagle's bulk function, which basically is something about, again, looks like it's something about an in-app purchase. I haven't checked it out, but in general, like when it comes to projects like this, it's in my opinion high risk to invest any money. There's nothing wrong with pressing a button once per day, even watching an ad or two once per day, because that doesn't cost you anything other than a little bit of your time. And if you do it at times where you anyway have to wait for something, like, I don't know, maybe you're waiting for your, I don't know, water cooker to boil water for your tea, or your coffee machine to finish running through the coffee or so, or you're just sitting on the toilet, that's like time you anyway are not doing anything else. That's the time to push the buttons and to watch the ads. So it literally doesn't cost you anything. And if the project succeed, yes, you might then regret that you didn't invest some money, but you still will have a profit. However, if the project fails, you will not feel like an idiot for putting money in a project that had very, very little outlook in the first place. So checklist. Next migration. So for those of you wondering, in Pi Network, the next migration, we don't know when it will happen, because right now the migration, so the last step in the mainnet checklist, happens manually. The core team manually triggers those migrations. That process will be automated in the future. Nobody knows exactly when. I would assume that by the end of the year, we're at the point where the last KYC kinks are worked out and where the migrations then happen automated. But I could be wrong. It could take a little longer. I mean, overall, Pi Network, while it has its successes so far, it's still a very slow-moving project. I mean, now we're looking at 4 years of the project. We have a blockchain, we have a mainnet, but we don't have an open mainnet. We have a lot of users that haven't passed KYC yet, and or that while they passed KYC didn't get their coins migrated yet. So it's still a slow-moving project, so patience is still the key. KYC. So spam. That's like weird. So also about CoinEx, like, crypto mining yields half every 4 years. What's your opinion on how this might affect apps like this? That's like, as I mentioned, it's not really true because it doesn't apply to all cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin, for example, has a halving every 4 years, which means then basically that the difficulty for mining doubles, which means that the new coins mined per day half, which means there's less new coins coming into the market, which obviously helps the price a little bit, because suddenly there's less new coins, which means less inflation. Other coins don't have that. I mean, you have to look up each coin if they have like some kind of mining process or additional issuance or so on, and if there are halvings involved or not. I mean, obviously many other coins do, but many other coins don't have that, so it depends on the project. So the halving that happens in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, in my opinion, has zero effect on XYO. Locked up Pi. I made a mistake. I locked Pi for 3 years, but I want it now in my wallet. Yeah, how can I unlock? Yeah, you cannot. Yeah, like, I mean, that's the whole point of. It's like the same thing when you, I don't know, sign up at crypto.com or high.com or whatever other crypto platform there is where you can stake stuff. So like, and then the staking says, okay, if you lock it up for 3 months, you get this amount in interest. Then you agree, then there is a window that says I accept and the terms and whatnot, and you agree, okay, you're gonna lock it up for that period, and that's it, and that's why you get the benefit. It's just like if you sign a, I don't know, like a 1-year phone contract, or like I don't know, like a 30-year loan for your house. Yeah, I mean, with the loan for the house, yeah, you could theoretically refinance it with another bank or something like that. Yeah, but technically you still have a contract. So, and with staking, you agree that's the period that I'm gonna stake, or in case of Pi, it's called locking up, and that's it. Yeah, you just have to wait it out. But again, like, I really think, again, you do you. If you want to just lock up 0% of your coins, or a shorter period, like just for a couple of weeks or for whatever, like half a year, then do that if it's what you want to do. But personally, I believe if Pi Network succeeds, it will be more, or it will have a higher value in 3 years than what it will have now. And locking it up for 3 years, so 100% for 3 years, gives you obviously the biggest mining boost, which means in the next 3 years you're gonna earn more additional Pi than you would earn without the 3-year lockup. Yeah. To give you another example, like in Helium Network, for example, with the migration to Solana, they also added stakings and so on, and had an initial period where when you stake, you actually get a boost. So you get like extra interest in quotes. Yeah. And there, I personally went for a 4-year lockup, which means that after 4 years, I can say I want to claim my rewards, and then the release over another 4-year period. So I went for, okay, I'm going to lock up pretty much everything I've earned in Helium so far for 8 years total. Yeah. Now, it would be great if Helium goes back to their previous all-time high of like $30-something, if I'm not mistaken, 35 or so, because then my Helium right now would be worth a couple $1,000 instead of just a couple hundred. But obviously, if the project succeeds, especially considering its use case, in 8 years from now, or 4 to 8 years from now, since starting 4 years from now, I can start receiving some of the rewards. Yeah. It should be worth way more. And if the project fails, well, then my couple $100 will be worth zero then. But the couple $100 wouldn't change my life right now. But whatever that turns into 8 years just might. Yeah. Yeah, that's a technical on an old topic that's not with crypto. Bondex token. No, you cannot transfer Bondex right now. So that's like, you just have to wait for the team to make some progress on the project. It's still at the phase where you just push a button once per day. Yeah, about Alpha Network. So Alpha Network token sales. Yeah, like, I mean, you can check out, I made a video about the Alpha Network exchange, or actually 2 or so. And yeah, if you check them out, you'll see why the exchange is that slow. The team has made then another announcement that they will how did they say it? There are like 2 things coming. I think one of them might be some kind of staking. The second thing, I don't know. Yeah, I'm actually curious. What's also funny, if we talk about Alpha Network and their exchange, they now have this advertise button that takes you to a page where it's like about, you can advertise in the app and so on. And if you check their PDF, hopefully it doesn't download it, then you see they advertise, okay, you can advertise here, and you can advertise here in the app, and you can advertise in the games, and you can advertise on the exchange and so on. And they actually charge you, so I asked for their pricing because I was curious, because it would obviously be an interesting idea to, for example, put an ad for Honeygain here, yeah, or for Stormgain or something, like, okay, free Bitcoin mining, or yeah, like earn Bitcoin for free or whatever, yeah. But they charge $2 per 1,000 impressions, which means basically putting an ad here for 2 days would cost you like 4,000 to 5,000, in that case 5,000, but they actually quoted 4,000 if I recall it correctly. And if you would want to have that ad shown for a week, then it would cost you 10,000. And it's like really a tough question, like what kind of product do you have that would do well enough so you invest whatever 4,000 for 2 days or 10,000 for a week, that then over a reasonable period of time that actually pays off again. Yeah? but which is like interesting. So the team definitely makes some money. I'm sure they have regular ads that are very, very badly paid in the app, and are now trying to get some dedicated advertisers that are paid a little better. But it would be nice to see if they would actually use some of that advertising revenue to also buy back on the app, because the big on the exchange, because the big problem Alpha Network has is that there are no buyers. Yeah, there used to be more in the beginning. Now it's really, you can, okay, like today it's 1,201 buy orders. It's misleading because it says thousands here, but it's 1 point, so 1,201 versus 145,000 sell orders in total so far. And while that number keeps increasing, that number really moves very slowly. I think the last time a week ago or so, it was like 1,195 or so. Yeah. So like there were like 6 buy orders in a week, while there probably was like thousands or 1,000 or more new sell orders in a week. Yeah. Which is the reason why the selling goes so slow. It went faster initially for the, like always, early adopters have better chances, and people that try to sell now or joined now have a harder time of actually selling. They can still list, and it will eventually sell unless the project dies, but it just takes forever. It just really takes forever. You need a long time to sell. Yeah. Blah, blah, blah. We already covered that. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. No, can't open my wallet. Yeah. I don't know why that comment shows up here, not as, and I didn't have a reply here. Yeah, like I don't want to write out the full reply, so I'm just gonna tell him. So they can explain to him. Obviously, if you don't have the full 24-word passphrase, I'm not sure if Pi Network has a 24-word passphrase. I'm gonna check that. No, I'm not gonna check it because I might risk showing it. Or if it's 12 words, I don't remember. But if you don't have the full passphrase, well, then you're shit out of luck. Then the only thing you can do is like create a new wallet in your Pi browser, and then so create a new wallet in your Pi browser, and then go ahead and those are new comments. That's why there's no answer yet. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, so we're already in the review thing. Yeah, so create a new wallet in your Pi browser, and then in the Pi Network app, go to menu, mainnet, or yeah, mainnet checklist, and then there update point 3 of the checklist with the new wallet address, and then check every other point at the last point as well, point 8, to confirm that new wallet, and then you will get future migrations to that new wallet. If you already got a migration to the old wallet that you cannot access anymore, you're shit out of luck. Those Pi coins are then gone, because you will never be able to guess the remaining 12 words properly. Yeah. Yeah. So someone did that to me. He transferred 10,000 Bondex coins. I'm fairly certain that there is no transfer in Bondex. Yeah, maybe for some users, like it was for early adopters in Pi Network. Yeah. But yeah, Bondex, by the way, is another of those one-click-a-day apps. So you just create your account, and I'm gonna share a link. You just create your account, and then once you fill out your profile. So it's kind of like a freelancer platform, or like a mix between a freelancer platform and LinkedIn on the blockchain. So you have your profile with your work history that you set up, and you push a button once per day, you get coins for it. And then down the road, it's meant to build a platform where like companies can look for either freelancers or employees, and basically see work history and so on. And you as a potential freelancer can offer your services, and where the payment works through the Bondex platform. So you have the benefit of like easier payment processing, or not having to worry how your contractors can pay you. And so like I think it's really a great use case and idea. The Bondex team is also really active on their social media, and with like networking with other people in the crypto industry and in other industries. But it remains to be seen if the project succeeds. Point being, however, it's like you just have to push a button once per day and you get BNDX. And if they don't screw up the project along the way, or if nothing goes wrong, then those BNDX will have a value at some point. But right now there's no transfer function. Yeah, so like no idea how somebody transferred Bondex to you, but maybe the team did it because you performed in some, I don't know, like giveaway action or draw. But yeah, users cannot transfer Bondex right now. Just checked again in the app, or checking twice. No, there's no wallet or no sending function right now. Yeah. Blah blah blah. Yeah, and there the reply about the unlocking, that I cannot change my own wallet. Well, that's not true. You just cannot unlock your PyCoins early. So that's like, I don't know how you connect this to that. Yeah, but at the end of the day, if you pay attention to what you agree to, then there are no surprises like that. If you're like, yes, I agree to the terms of the lockup, and yes, I opt in to lock it up for 3 years, well, yeah, then that's on you. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so migrations will happen in the future. Yeah, so just have to wait for the migration. Yeah, same thing. Yeah, so. And Pi lockup for 3 years, we already covered that as well. Yeah, and that concludes the comments since last week. As you can see, it's not that many right now, so there's no point in having daily streams for this, and weekly is fairly sufficient. Obviously, if you have any questions other than what we covered in the comments, you can ask them in the chat. Now is your chance, or otherwise next week's episode, or you leave them in a comment on one of the videos about the project you want to know more, or you use the link in the description to join our Discord community and ask them there, or just have a chat with me and the community there. But yeah, what else do we have ahead? Next week, there's going to be another Common Chaos live stream. As for now, for those of you that also check out my regular trading live stream called Daily Market Mastery on my Popular Investor YouTube channel, which you can find if you look for Christian Rauchenwald Popular Investor on YouTube. There we also for now, because I'm busy with our software business right now, we also for now changed the schedule and have now one live stream once per week on Monday to look at our portfolio, the positions in there, and how I analyze them to determine if they are to expect. And yeah, so you can check out that as well, but the schedule is adjusted. There should be a new video coming potentially this week, maybe next week. As you see, lately I haven't been publishing that much because I just first I lacked like the inspiration, which topic I want to cover, but additionally I'm also busy with other things. But yeah, definitely new videos incoming. And yeah, other than that, High Dollar had some news. So actually, let's use a few minutes real quick to look at that. Yeah, it's like, I wanted to make a video about High Dollar for like now, actually since January, since they launched their virtual cards. And then there were so many changes. So then there was like, they had to block all cards for a month in February because some users abused the cashback system. And then they teased that there will be changes to the reward system or to the tier system. So instead of staking, whatever, like it used to be okay for Diamond, you have to stake 10 million high. Now it's 2,000 points. And the point system, just to give you a quick idea, membership starters points, are currently ridiculous. So you see, for example, for the, let's be realistic. For most people, we talk about silver and gold. So that's for most people, And silver would get you 5% in spent rewards, which doesn't sound that bad, on first glance, But so you need 250 points for that. And the new point, I'm a super fan. So like, just to be clear, I'm a fan of the new spend to earn that they introduced because it has like a super great chance to turn around highest value and bring it into an upwards trajectory. And I'm a fan of the point system itself. So where instead of like every other competitor and High initially had it, okay, you just once buy a certain amount. So you buy whatever, like at crypto.com, you would buy for their highest cashback card, back then 8% cashback, $400,000 worth of CRO, and you have to lock it up. And then you get the card. And so you buy one, and for lower cards, you buy like $400 worth of CRO and you lock it up. And as long as you have the $400 locked up, you get your 3% cashback, for example. At Bluetooth, it's the same. They have a free tier where you get like some cashback without any investment. But it's like maximum like $6.50 per month or so, or €6.50 per month. And the highest tier is like roughly right now $20,000 investment to get 8% cash back, although you don't have to lock them up, so you can sell them every day. But the point is, you spend money once, and then you keep getting benefits and you keep getting new tokens. So only as long as new users keep joining, it's a little bit, I'm not saying the project is a Ponzi scheme, but the way to maintain token value is a little bit Ponzi-like. Yeah. So again, project, not a Ponzi scheme. Just like in a Ponzi scheme, you would have like new people bring in money, and that is then used to pay old people. Yeah. And or existing people. Yeah. And here with most of the projects, so you, for example, at crypto.com, you pay $400 to get a card that used to give you 3% cash back. Now it's, I don't know, 1 or so. Yeah, it doesn't matter. And so you pay that once, and then you keep getting cash back, which means you're getting more and more tokens that you then sell for money, which means you only had to invest once, and then suddenly you actually start dumping. Yeah, I mean, small amounts. If you spend the maximum, you might, I don't know, like have $100 per month or $200 per month in cash back to sell. Yeah. But that's $200 sell pressure that you create and that somebody else has to counter, which means only as long as there are new users that keep buying CRO and locking them up to stabilize the value, only that long you'll actually, the project or the token value can stay stable. Plutus, for example, counters that by now, starting 1st of July, increasing the tier requirements. So right now you would need, I don't know, 2,000 Pluton for the highest tier, so around $20,000, and then starting next month it will be, I think, 2,200 or 2,500. So basically creating a little bit of FUD, so people upgrade and buy more now, which obviously creates buy pressure and offsets the selling pressure from people getting the rewards. And then they will keep increasing that, which means the entry point for people will be harder and they will have to buy more. So it kind of like, yeah, it will work until some point, and then that will also not work anymore. And that's why the point system in High is great by itself. Again, the system, not the actual point things that I'm going to show you. So the referral points are, in my opinion, completely irrelevant because, for example, if you do affiliate marketing a lot or referral marketing, just to be silver and get 5% spend rewards, you would have to refer a total of 25 diamond members per month. Yeah, and for diamond you need 2,000 points. Yeah, so and we see that. So and then it's like that's the point that is like meh, because again, point system great. So I think the referral points here can be removed because High anyway has a great referral system where if you sign up with someone's nickname and then you have a High card and you pay and maybe with the card and you get cash back, then the person that invited you also gets like 0.1% off that cash back. So if you have 1,000 people invited that all use the card or so, then that already is enough worth for your efforts because it's recurring. Every month they use the card, every month you get some 0.1% of whatever cashback they got. So having enough people, that suddenly sums up. Yeah? Whereas this here is just ridiculous because especially the points are only valid for 30 days in this case. So you would get 25 people that invest a huge amount of money, as you'll see, to be diamond. And then you would be silver for 30 days. And then after that, you would have to again find 25 people and invest a huge amount. So yeah, like that part could be removed in my opinion. But then the really annoying part is like the idea is nice. So for example, if you buy High, 100 High or $100 High, then you get certain points and they're valid for 180 days. Yeah. But only if you stake them. So if you buy them and they are automatically locked up for 180 days. Yeah. And it's obviously too convoluted. So for example, instead of having all that is like if you buy $100, if you buy $1,000 or so, yeah, and you can only do that once every 180 days, yeah. Although apparently the $1 million you can do more often, yeah. So you see, you would need to buy $2 million worth of High to get 2,000 points for half a year, which means technically if you only do the buy High option, you would need to spend $4 million every year to buy High so that you for a year have your 2,000 points, yeah, and get your 12% cash back if you pay with High. Nobody's going to risk that, yeah. And then you have the other option if you used some of those, or if you forgot to click the right button or didn't buy one in one go. So you say I want to buy $1,000, but then you buy 500 and another 500, then it doesn't count as this. But then you get basically that here. You get 0.1 point for each $100, you would get like 1 point instead of getting 100. Yeah? And obviously all of that can be combined to a simple rule where say, okay, for every $1 that you buy worth of high and that is auto staked, you get, I don't know, 1 point. Yeah. So 1,000, or if they say 0.1 point, yeah, like, I mean, that's just ridiculous requirements. Yeah. But of course, a 12% cashback card has to cost a fortune, yeah. But if it were 1 point, well, then you would still need to invest like 200,000 or so, yeah. And obviously, it should be valid as long as the staking. So if the auto staking is 180 days, then the points should be valid 180 days, yeah. So there would be 1 point would enough, yeah. And obviously, the factor would need to reduce because like 4 million investment, way too much. 400,000, or even considering that it's 12% cashback theoretically. Even something like up to 800,000 investment required for diamond, yeah, totally acceptable, yeah. Then yeah, with staking it's the same thing. So for example, if you stake high on the app, if you stake $1,000, you get 25 points for 90 days, and that's the thing that is like completely bonkers. You stake it for half a year, but your points only count for 90 days. You stake it for a year, your points count for only for half a year. Yeah. Obviously, your staking should always count for the full period. But the core point is that by having this point system, again, not with those specific requirements. I mean, they're all same. The idea is nice behind it. So like trading volume gets you points. How much money you hold on average in your flexible account gets you points. So theoretically, if you have $1 million in your flexible account, you automatically have 200 points every month, blah, 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 250. So you're silver. Or if you have like $10 million, you're gold. But obviously, nobody's going to put $10 million in a centralized exchange to have 8% in cashback. Yeah. So the points itself, like rewarding trading volume, rewarding staking, rewarding holding money in the account, rewarding buying high tokens, yeah, great. Because instead of, as said, instead of one time, okay, here $50 or $400 to get my tier, and now that's it. That's just locked away. It's still mine. I will get it someday back. It might go up in value. It might lose value, but it's still mine. And now I'm just milking the reward system like it works with every other platform. It's obviously not sustainable, whereas the point system is sustainable because it would be okay every couple of months, depending on which options you pick. So either have to trade a little bit on the exchange to create fees that help fund the business, and trading volume, which obviously would help at some point if High's own exchange gets listed on CoinMarketCap to push it up to like exchange with a ton of trading volume. Or I have to buy from time to time some high and lock them up, where I would then get interest on those high, but I create buy pressure in the first place, and so on. So the actions really make sense. What's missing is, so as mentioned, most of those things are too convoluted. So you have 5-6 entries for something that could be simplified and said, okay, for every $1,000 that you hold in your flexible balance, you get 1 point or 0.1 or 10 points, whatever the point value is. Yeah. For every dollar worth of high you buy, you get that amount of points. For every dollar worth of high that you stake, you get that amount of points. So it could be simplified into 4 or 5 points. And what's missing, which is one of the crucial things, there's currently no reward for providing liquidity. I mean, the gigapool stakings and so on, they're going to expire in February next year. So considering the gigapool doesn't make sense. But PancakeSwap and Uniswap, liquidity there is really, really important to the project. And if there's no rewards anymore outside of getting some small part of the transaction fee that happens when people use PancakeSwap or Uniswap, then you might as well take your money out of there and stake it in high, so you get interest and you get points. Yeah. And so that's really missing. There should be an option that says, okay, for every $1 or for every this and that worth of liquidity pool tokens that you have in Uniswap or PancakeSwap, you get that amount of points to actually also reward providing liquidity. But again, the point system right now is like, the point system itself is great. The point tasks are ridiculous right now. And I'm actually waiting because it's just 14 days since the team announced all those changes, and hope that during this month they will actually make an announcement and revise those requirements, add the liquidity pool requirements, and clarify a few other things so that I can then actually make a video that's not outdated in 2 or 3 weeks. Or if they don't change that, then I will make a video that probably points towards, well, it was a project with a lot of potential and sadly they fucked it up. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, I'm curious. Either way, I'm gonna get my metal card, even if it at the end just ends up being a paperweight. So if the requirements don't improve and so on, then it's going to be a nice NFT printed metal card as paperweight and as a reminder. And it's going to be one of the projects where, unfortunately, we suffered a decent loss, but yeah, still. Yeah, but so in terms of videos, that's upcoming. And there's going to be probably a short update about CoinX. I can already take away the core content of it. Make sure that you follow CoinX. If you're using CoinX, make sure that you follow their Twitter account, because there's going to be KYC upcoming, and there's going to be only 2 weeks to submit KYC, and then there's going to be 2 weeks to claim your tokens. So if you're kind of like missing and you're not following the updates, then and you just keep pushing the button in the app, then if they don't put a real big notification in the app, you might miss that, and you might then miss out on actually claiming the tokens that you got for pushing your button. Yeah. Anyway, now we're a little bit in overtime. I hope, yeah, you were all able to take something away from today's stream. I see you all in one of my videos, or the next Wednesday with another episode of Comment Chaos Live. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day, and yeah,